Alright, y'all, so I'm back. And my hair is not all the way dry, but it's not dripping the way it was anymore. So prior to beginning to retwist my hair, what I like to do is I like to take some oil. This has Jamaican mango, castor oil, whatever it's called. It has some of that in there, some castor oil. That oil, olive oil, tea tree oil, lavender oil, almond oil, just a little bit of different types of oils. And I keep it in this applicator bottle. What I like to do is just take some of the oil, and while my hair is damp, I like to put some in my hands, rub my hands together, and then just rub my hands through my hair. I don't focus on one central location. That's why I rub it in between my two hands, just to get it everywhere in my head. And I do that just to evenly distribute it. Then I'll add a little bit more. Have something on my hand. It doesn't want to come off. Okay, so then I'll add a little bit more. So again, just some, hopefully you can see that. Rub it in between my two hands again. And then just pass my hands through my hair. And again, I don't do too much. I might do one more pass just because I don't want it to be too oily. Yeah. Definitely make sure to get it on my edges, on the nape. And then I'm going to do one more pass. So again, just about the same amount, rubbing it through my hands. Okay, and that is it. So now I am ready to retwist. So for the purpose of trying to make this video not be too long, I kind of sped up different sections of the video. But pretty much in this particular part, I am sectioning off my hair, which is usually how I begin to when I start retwisting my hair. So whatever locks I'm not dealing with at the moment, I have up in a pony, and then I section off the first section. So as you can see, I'm starting with the bottom row where I have 4 locks. And usually what I do is with my fingers, I like to feel where the parts are. If there are any hairs that, belong in the top section or belong to one lock or the other lock, I just start feeling with my hand to kind of, detangle those merry pieces or pull them apart or whatever. I then like to follow up with a comb, and using the comb, I will kind of go back in and just, define those parts and use the comb to gather the hair. So that's pretty much what I am doing at this particular point. As you can see, I'm starting to achieve a nice, clean, and crisp part. So now off camera, I kind of defined the part a little bit more, and then I used some clips to hold up the locks and extra like strands of hair just so that they wouldn't get in the way once I start to retwist. So now I'm going in, I'm getting a dab of my flaxseed gel, putting that on my finger, and just rubbing a little amount on the root of the lock, which is the new growth area, and then I am twisting the hair. Now typically when I'm retwisting my hair, if there are any strands at the base, I like to twist that with the lock and just incorporate it to make for a stronger base to my lock. So as you can see, I just twisted that one. Another thing is I don't frequently retwist, and when I do retwist, I don't frequently use the palm rolling method.
I feel like excessively doing the palm roll method can weaken your locks and just really thin them out. I don't have really thin locks to begin with, so I do my little twist at the base, at the root or whatever, and then I just keep going. So it's not very often that I'll actually do the palm roll motion when I'm retwisting. But I just did a second one, and then usually I'll do 2 or 3 locks to a clip. So I'm just clipping that second one with the first one that I did. And as you can see, it's starting to come along really well. In this particular clip, I am just focusing on that one. But again, you get the gist of how I am retwisting. And as I'm doing it again, any strand here at the base, that new growth is pretty long. I'm just kind of, twisting it and then incorporating it with the length of the lock. And what I do is when I'm twisting down the lock, I also like to take any stray hair and continue to just twist that with the lock just to kind of get like a nice neat look to my locks. So I'm doing the last one in that section. So put a little bit of gel. Now I'm just, taking the stray hair and twisting it with the lock, wrapping the lock around my finger, and there I am clipping it now because it is all good to go. And there is the lock. And there is the first row. Done and complete. And what I like to do is just make sure that the locks aren't wrapped too tight around, just so that they don't like curl up at the root, which when you do them too tight, that tends to happen. So here I've pulled down the second row. I'm using my fingers to feel for any stray hairs, which, as you can see, I'm like just trying to pull them, gently pull them apart. Any hairs that belong to the top, I'm bringing them to the top. Any hairs that need to be at the bottom, they can stay. But I'm just using my fingers to, get the feel. Once I've done that, now I go in with the comb and I'm just trying to define that part and just make it look, nice and crisp. And, I want it to look like I just got a retwist. So I'm definitely just trying to make sure the parts are defined. I like to keep a handheld mirror on hand because when I'm retwisting my hair in the mirror, the back is very hard to see. So I use the handheld mirror to be able to just kind of look and see what I'm doing. So again, I'm reinforcing what I did. I'm checking with my hands to make sure I did good. And I think with time, some of my parts kind of got messed up, and I like if I didn't catch it, then that was pretty much it. So you might notice that that part is not like a really straight part, but that's as good as it'll get. So again, I'm just feeling with my fingers, and I am just retwisting. And usually, like after I've done the first row, I get a good groove and I can kind of bang out the back rather quickly when I'm retwisting my hair. The back of my hair, the back of my hair, the hair texture there is a very looser. It's a much looser hair pattern. So I don't have a hard time with retwisting the back of my hair because that pattern is not as tight as the front of my hair. The front of my hair is a problem area for me in regards to when it's time to retwist. It takes quite a long time because the hair texture there is very coily, and so I find that there's more marrying going on in the front and more tangles in the front. So as you can see, I just continue to retwist and reinforce what I'm doing with the mirror. Again, my apologies for speeding this up so much. I just wanted to make sure that I could fit it all within a certain amount of time. But I think what I will do is during my next retwist, I'll just kind of do 1 or 2 on camera and just, to give an overall gist of what I do when I retwist. So I'm pretty much almost done with this section. I have 2 more locks left in that row. But again, as you can see, it's starting to come together. There's a method to the madness. You can definitely see the parts and it's starting to have that crisp look. If you look in the front of my hair, you can't even see, like you just see roots pretty much. So once I start getting further with the twisting, you'll notice that, you'll be able to see more of my scalp. And there is the second row done and complete. So here I am back, and if you look at the back of my hair, I got a good portion of the back done, which I always start in the back and then I leave the front for last pretty much. When I get to the front, I like to start with, one side, and then I'll pick up on the other side. When my hair starts to dry out, I spray it with water, because there's no way to retwist your hair when you're, like, it's not good to retwist your hair when it's dry. I know for me it hurts, and my hair is just like, it'll be really mad at me, because moisture is key when you're retwisting your locks. So I section off the side that I'm not doing, and then I spritz down the other area a little bit more just to kind of help. When my hair is dry and I even put it up in a pony, that is very painful. So I can't tell you how painful it is when I'm retwisting. So again, here I am with the comb. I am just trying to pull the hairs in the right places, making sure that there's no stray hair or anything like that. Trying to get the parts right. Once I do that, now I am ready to retwist the locks. I think in this area I had a lock that was just coming undone in the back, so I was just fixing that. And then putting the clip back on. So as you can see, I am retwisting that one right there, right by my right ear. And then I'm going to do the one right next to it again. I like to put 2 to 3 locks on a clip, especially when they're like next to each other, that way. And voila, I am done. I have completed retwisting my hair, and as you can see, straight down the center of my hair, you can see my part, you can see all the other parts, because my hair is freshly retwisted. So at this point, what I'm about to do is, I have blow dried my hair. My hair was a little damp from spritzing it with water, just so that it would be a little bit more flexible. So once I have removed all the clips, I'm going to go in with the castor oil, the Jamaican castor oil, and I'm going to just put some of that, take a dab on my finger and kind of just put that through my scalp. No particular reason. I do it, I guess I do it for the nourishment and just so that my scalp isn't extremely dry. But that's pretty much what I'm going to do at this point with that. And that's what I'm doing right now. So now that my hair is retwisted, I am ready to style it. So stay tuned for that.